Ole Gunnar Solskjaer must be sacked. He has to go now. He has to go now. Torn apart, embarrassed, outmaneuvered, outthought, outcoached, better substitutions. Absolutely shambolic in every single which way or form from Ole today. And I don't ever want to get beat. Never in my life have I ever wanted to have got beaten before in my life. And when we got to 2-2, I thought, oh, he's only going to get away with this. And we're going to break the game down in a bit. But I thought he's only going to get away with this. 15 seconds after getting back into the game, Man United's defensive structure, defensive shape lets them down again. Vardy scores a beaut. They go 3-2 up. The Daka goal could be the silver lining in the cloud because it may just be embarrassing enough for the Glazers, Woodward, the board to say enough is enough. We have the squad to play better football than this. But we were torn apart pillar to post by a team that has struggled all season. The most embarrassing bit for me was around about the 35th minute of the game. We were really struggling to play through Leicester. And our bench instructed our team to go long. Because they couldn't work out how to play through them. Absolute embarrassment. And I said this 2 or 3 weeks ago and was shot down by a lot of United fans. And I said it then and I'll say it again. Ole's gone backwards the better his squad has become. The pressure of having to deliver has absolutely ripped him apart. It has ripped him apart. He is a broken man. A broken man. And Man United now have 4 defeats in 7 games. Only 2 wins from the last 5 games. And we will very soon, if he isn't sacked, be out of this title race. We will very soon, if he is not sacked, be out of the Champions League. I have respect for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Man United figure. I have respect for Ole as a man, as a father. But as the manager of Manchester United, enough is enough. He must be removed. It's embarrassing because of the riches we have on that field of play. No matter who plays at the back, no matter who plays in midfield, no matter who is up front, it doesn't work. And there are players that made mistakes. There are midfielders that made mistakes. But the problem is, it's everybody. Whatever combination, whichever people line up, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Enough is enough. He has to go, in my opinion. I want your views, though. We're going to open up the line for you to call soon. KJ shared the link with the WhatsApp, with the Football Terrace group chat. They're going to hopefully come on first. We will get the link out to you. But enough's enough. He's got to go. I'm going to go to your comments here. AMT says Leicester versus United. Fantastic match for a neutral, but special mention to Wolves. Yeah, see, their game was back at 2-2 the last time I checked. Oh, they won 3-2. I hadn't even checked it. Wow, they came back from 2-0 down. Curran was wrong, though. Curran did say today's game was going to be dead. One of the best games in the Premier League season. Why are you only blaming Ole? It's not about only blaming Ole, my friend, but it's the fact that it doesn't matter whether, do you know why I never jumped on the McFred bandwagon? Because it doesn't matter whether it's McFred or Matic and Pogba, Fred and Pogba, Matic and McTominay, McTominay and Pogba. It's always the same. It's the same. It's the same. It doesn't matter if it's Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, Lingard, Ahmad, Dan James. It's always the same. It's always the same. Always the same. And the better we get, the worse we become. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a good enough orator, talker, communicator to make that make sense in any way, in any shape, or in any form. It makes none. Terry, where is the hidden master, Mr. Alfie? Shocking Man United and Ole. No excuses defensively. Mid-table performance unacceptable. And do you know what? You bang on there. And on that, right, somebody says excuses FC. There ain't no excuse. Bro, where's the excuse? Where's the excuses? Come on, banter me, but that's bad banter. They giving excuses. We have got worse. Poo-poo. Doo-doo. Rubbish. I ain't going to sit here. Oh, we had Varane missing and we're integrating players. There is no excuse for Man United to be this bad. Atrocious. Atrocious. What a shambles of a football club you are. And do you know what? This is how you know. This is how you know. This is how you know we're a shambles. Because we built the squad to win, but we're not willing to put a coach in to make us win. Why? Why is the big question around that? Why is it's just shocking to me. Keep them super chats coming, people. I'm going to get them up on the screen. Don't you worry about that. Member chats as well. Lee here just says, Sue. Yeah, look, they're right to banter us. Banter away. Banter away. Ollie is done, is what Marble Halls TV's got to say. Member chats and super chats, we, of course, prioritize as they keep the football terrorists going. But please smash that like button. Let's get this past 1,000 likes, please, people, and subscribe. Real says, been telling United fans that Ollie wasn't the one. Liverpool supporter. And do you know what it is as well, right? I was always one of these people with Ollie where I wanted to know the answer. We know the answer. We know has to go. Paul here says, I was right in a way. I knew you would struggle, but we will tonight against Brentford. I hear you on that. It doesn't matter if your team struggles. That the prediction was Man United and you were right. Terry, coaching is the problem. It's all individual brilliance, FC. Sack Ollie now. He is clueless. Oral says the players let Ollie down. They gave away 4 avoidable goals. Bro, we're giving away avoidable goals all the time. Varane in the team or out of the team. Maguire in the team or out of the team. It don't matter. There comes a point where you have to look beyond the players. Structure, no intensity. We barely handle the press. And half these players do it in other sides. Geordie here. Vardy gives Shearer vibes, but more clinical. This man has 47 goals versus the big 6. Absurd striker. Yeah, listen, I want to say as well, Leicester were excellent today. Excellent. Excellent to a man. They deserved it. They bossed the midfield battle against Pogba and Matic. Vardy and Iheanacho caused us problems all day long. And defensively, they were solid. They were absolutely solid. Man United has too much talent to look like this. Exactly. We have super talented players. They're just not being coached in how to deliver. Wes here says, Ollie's faith in McFred has stopped us signing a quality CDM. This will cost United top 4 and him his job. We won't finish higher than Chelsea, City or Liverpool. 4th isn't a guarantee. Ollie has no clue and things can only get worse. We need to cut our losses. You're absolutely spot on there. Queen of the North says Ollie was needed for the rebuild, but the rebuild time is over. It's time to win, and he is not a winner. Mohammed here says, I've just watched a lost team with no tactics, discipline, pressing from the front. I can assure you the players won't stay quiet about this one. I agree with you. There's no way Ronaldo and co are going to sit there and just take that in the dressing room. They're going to be knocking on the board's door. Fans have got to keep the pressure. This is a Glazer issue, by the way. This is a Glazer issue now. They have to step up and do something because he ain't going to sack himself. He's going to stay here. It's mad. Nicola here says, Ollie is too busy being their buddy. We need a coach, is what Nicole Rogers has got to say. Tamil here, Terry, calm down. You've already lost more hair. Bruv. Honestly, my hairline has better structure than the Manchester United team right now. Legit, better structure. Joshua says, Terry, I like Ollie, but it's time to go. Also, I knew we love them, but Ronaldo ruins this team with his lack of passing, pressing, and hold-up play. Like, I think the Ronaldo criticism is fair to a point, but at the same time, we're just broken as a team. Do you know the saddest bit that's made me the most angry about this? And we are going to your call soon. What's made me the most angry about this is that we've invested in the squad continuously and we're getting worse. That's why it's embarrassing. When we were starting games with Pereira, when our best attackers were Pereira, Lingard, and Dan James, It was like, okay, well, I want to see what happens with better players. The results are in. The experiment's been done. Ole is drowning. He has to go. I don't think if Ole, don't you think if Ole loves the club, he should do the right thing and realize he's out of his depth? The problem is he's too naive to realize that. The problem is with people that lead at that level is they're also quite arrogant, generally speaking, across all industries. I don't think he'll see it. He'll think he'll be able to turn it around. He needs the realization of a superior to pull him aside and say, you're done. You haven't done a good enough job. I understand your point. But if he doesn't do that, then if you think that he should and he doesn't and you want to turn on him for it, I respect that. That's your decision. But if he isn't going to do that, we still need to look at the Glazers. They need to make the move here. Eric Palmer says we need to stop blaming the Glazers. Ole was backed. Some crap football, sad to say it. But for Ole to go, we need to lose more games. Yes. So I'm not blaming the Glazers for not building him a squad capable of winning. But then if they don't sack him, say he stays. This is what I'm scared they're going to do. Like, deep this, Eric. Deep this, my bro. Please. It's not defending Ole. Let me just say this really clearly. Ole is out of his depth. He is drowning. Must be sacked. But if the Glazers keep him, that's on them. If they keep him until December and we're out of the Champions League and out of the title race, yes, that's Ole's fault. But the Glazers could get rid of him today. They could have got rid of him 2 weeks ago. He could have been gone. Zidane could have been here today. New manager bounce. But he isn't. It's on them. They are keeping him in power now. You know, it's like moaning about your president in America or your prime minister here and then voting him back in. Don't make sense, G. Show some faith in Ole. Hashtag Ole in, Soul. Breaking news, United robbed. Okay, I'll let KJ do them because I keep doing them and he did say no. United robbed by Dortmund. Yeah, not a good watch today for Sancho. We'll talk about that with callers. Ole in is what's being said here. Terry, I said a while ago he won't be sacked, and you said the Glazers aren't that serious, and it's true. That's the point I make here. Everybody gets things right, and everybody gets things wrong. I've got some predictions right. I've got some predictions wrong. The one thing I'm stonewall cast iron sure about, is these Glazers not being serious about winning. The only saving grace, and I don't want to lose this run of games coming up, but if we go out the Champions League and get beat by Tottenham and Liverpool, we might then suddenly be 8, 9, 10 points off the top 4, and they might then act. But that's too late for the title, which is what this squad should be winning. Thank you, JP, for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. Fan one here says Gary Neville needs to call out Ole. No more buddy. And he started doing that. You're absolutely spot on. SS says Agent Ole on target. I am a Ronaldo and Chelsea fan, and I feel bad for Ronaldo choosing this crap club. Zane here with a super stick. A long time no speak, Zane. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well indeed. We've got Paul Ross next, who says, Terry, I said a while ago. Sorry, no, that's the wrong one I'm reading. The Glazers are not serious when it comes to competition. Absolutely right. You're spot on there, Paul. Orlando here says, Ole has half of the skills needed to do the job. Great man manager, horrible game manager. He should acknowledge and walk away from the team. We're going to go next here. This Man City fan, Pep Guardiola, says Man United's next 3 Premier League games are against Liverpool, Tottenham, and Manchester City. Like, we could, that's the maddest thing here. United could conceivably lose all 4 of those games. Okay, we lose all 4 of those games. We equal the loss, 3 of those games. We're almost equal to last season's losses with a superior squad going into its 3rd full season under Ole. Anyone defending Ole now is blinded by the love of the man. Love the club more. Mo here says, I-Test told us. I-Test also came on here and apologized and said he was wrong about Ole. We all get things right. We all get things wrong. This ain't about nitpicking. This is about saying what you think in the here and now more than anything. And it's about focusing on the big problem. Are they going to move him out or not? James here, one of our members, says, Liverpool United will be a draw. We'll see what happens there. Sean says, facts, Terry. Chelsea Love says, Ollie in. Yeah, I get everyone. I get why people are going to be thinking and feeling and saying that. I absolutely do. I'm going to share the link in a moment for you guys to call in. Only KJ from the terrace has arrived. I'm not sure where the others are. I don't know where the others are. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they're at. I don't know what they're saying. Off crying somewhere, but Ollie needs to go. Ollie needs to be moved on. No one knows why he hasn't been sacked yet. I can't even make sense of it myself. Let's get this past 1,000 likes, though, people. K Arman TV here says, please consider Southgate never lost a group match. World Cup semis and finals. No. I appreciate your super chat, but for me, I won't be considering him. Yusuf says, the Glazers don't understand football, but as an owner, with all this investment, they won't sit there twiddling their thumbs. Ollie's a dead man walking, I think that said. I agree with you on that. I think he is a dead man walking. I legitimately do. Glazers out, but they don't manage the team. Ollie does. You're absolutely spot on, but they've got to sack him. They've got to sack him, bro. If you want KJ to be removed from his position, I have to do it. You can hate KJ, but you have to get me to sack him. So you have to come to me. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to say I've got to put a complaint in about you at your company, I'm not going to put the complaint into you because you ain't going to tell your bosses. You know what I mean? You're not going to go into your one-to-one with your manager and be like, oh, mate, this customer just said I need to be sacked and I agree. Sack me, please. No, the complaint has to go into the hierarchy to investigate, manage, sack. Same thing. Terry, I told you last time, Ollie is a stat manager. He is a stat merchant. He is being found out. His stats don't matter, is what Rower's got to say here. A lot of people saying sack KJ. Get sack KJ trending. Get sack KJ. The season has just started and United already playing on the beach. Just think about that. That's quite worrying. It's beyond worrying. It is absolutely shocking what we are witnessing right now as a football club. It is shocking beyond belief. Shocking beyond belief. No one from the terrace has turned up. I don't know where you guys are. They all scared? I'm actually going to put a group message in. Where are they all at? Where are these guys all at? I created the group chat so they could be first in this, regular callers and all that. I'm going to send them a voice note here. Where are you all? Priority and all that. Where you all at? I mean, priorities and you get the priority link. Where you man at? Get yourselves here. Actually, I'm going to go to the viewers. The viewers are ready. The viewers want to talk. Alfie, where you at especially? Where you bottling this? Where you guys at? You ain't busy people. You all play FIFA too regularly to have friends. Let's go. See you in a minute. Right. I'm getting the link out to you guys. I'm getting the link out to you lot. I'm going to share it in the comments section and pin it. Call in now. Let's get that done. Come on and speak about whatever you want to speak about. The floor is yours. Only fan channel that's actually going to allow you to have your say. You can go listen to others, which is great, but you get to speak here. Please don't sack him before the Liverpool game. I hear you on that completely. First caller I'm going to go to going to be my guy. Sorry, Bobby here says, Terry doing Adelia. Where are you? Let's be having you. No, it's true. Look, I'm going to get a man like KJ on to have his say first of all. He's not a happy boy with what's gone on today. Smash that like and share button. Get Ollie out trending if you're a United fan. Probably Ollie in trending if you're a right. Let's do this. Let's do it now. KJ, give me your thoughts, mate.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it all. Get him gone. Oh my Lord. How has he gotten better players and gone backwards? It makes no sense, Terry. It makes no sense. In the group chat, the Man United group chat that we've got, we was talking about Pogba and Matic, people excited. What is there to be excited about? It don't matter what combination we have. Pogba, Matic, McTominay, Fred and Van der Beek, my nan and my next door neighbour's dog. It doesn't matter who's in the midfield for Man United. The structure of this team is abysmal. And that is down to the coaching staff and the manager. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It is time. It is time for him to leave. And this is what annoys about these pricks that we call our owners, those glazer pagans, bro. They need to know that this is not good enough. They don't know. They're sitting there in the USA chilling. Remember when I think we beat Villarreal, and I said, "Yo, listen, these pricks need to come over here and see what's going on and start actually preparing to be an actual football club." I said this, but I got hit with, "Oh no, they've done their job now. It's all on Woodward. It's all on." No, they run the flipping football club. Woodward is leaving in December. Yeah, they need to get the finger out of the flipping arse and actually do the flipping job.
I totally agree. I want to ask you this question. When it went to 4-2, is there a part of you that's like, I don't want to lose, but I would rather lose and be embarrassed 4-2 than 1-0? Because are you hopeful? I mean, not even hopeful. This should be a trigger of embarrassment to go enough's enough, right?
It should be. It should be. It should be. Was it the 3-1 that we lost to Liverpool to get Mourinho sacked? It should be whatever made them think about sacking Van Gaal. It should be the thing that made them sack Moyes. It should be the trigger. Ole has been literally in a position to get sacked like 3 or 4 times already at Manchester United over the last 3 years. This should be the final. It has to be the final one. It has to be. It has to be the final straw. Please, please. Literally, I'm just here now. I'm here praying. And it's not because I dislike the guy. I like the guy. I respect him as a man. I respect him for everything that he's done for the club in terms of trying to get us somewhere, trying to move us forward. That's all fine. But when it comes down to doing the job that you're supposed to do now, not the job that you're supposed to do when you first joined, when Mourinho was here, the job that you need to do now, you are not doing it. So therefore, he needs to go. And the players, I don't know what the players are doing. Maguire, bruv, these players need to stop doing this whole, oh, if I'm fit or if I'm available, I'll always be ready for the team no matter what condition I'm in. No, you're not fit to play. Think about your own bloody careers and your own reputation. If you're not fit to play, don't bloody play. Maguire should be like, you're gaff. I can't do this.
No, it's true. And the thing is, we heard the reports about him playing, who was it? Luke Shaw without training. And Maguire, listen, Maguire was terrible today. I'm not defending Maguire in any way, shape or form, but he ain't trained. He wasn't ready. And the fact that he wasn't ready, he shouldn't have been playing. And these are the things about Ole. And like I said before, there's only so much you can say about Ole. I've said it all before. Out of his depth, drowning. I now want him sacked, and I'm hopeful that the embarrassment today does that. Cage, we'll get you on with everybody else a bit later, mate. Top man. We're going to jump into some of these calls now. Thank you much, mate. First up, Mo is on the line with us now. Mo's a Man United fan. What are you saying, mate?
This is terrible, Terry. This is we are so fucking fucked at the moment. We need to get rid of this manager ASAP as soon as possible. Get him out and bring someone else in. The Glazers need to start running this football club as a football club. Do you know what I mean? This is fucking bullshit. What is going on out there? Please, someone tell me how this. There's nothing there. Even the players. I watched Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He was all over the place. There's no structure. And the players now, what the players are doing now is they're freestyling it. There's nothing out there. And all he's looking and speaking to McKenna. And he's like, what is the idea to this football club? How on earth are you going to win a league title? You're not going to win a league title. He doesn't sack the backroom staff. He doesn't get better coaches in. There's no progression with the football club. It's time to go, Terry. He has to go. If not, and I'm going to be honest, I miss Mourinho. At least with Jose, we kind of had a style of play. But this is disastrous. This is just all over the place, Terry.
It is, and I think for me, I go back to one of my reasonings and one of my rationales for giving Ole the squad, giving him the time to build the squad, is because there was always these arguments with LVG and Jose within the fan base. Forget rivals, within the fan base of if Ole had been given him, if the other two managers would have been given their squad, given the time, they may have delivered. And I wanted to see if that would work. And I'm happy to sort of die on that hill. And I don't mind what people think of me for that. But it hasn't worked. And now you act. The difference is between sacking Ole now and when we sack the other managers is we have a squad that's ready to compete. We have a squad that has the personnel and the quality to be able to compete. We just don't have the system and it's going backwards. You're absolutely spot on, mate. Mo, thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it. Top man. Thank you. Paul here says, remember how Arsenal was going. Now look at United. It's becoming the same thing. Top 4, then top 6, etc. You're going like Arsenal right now, lower and lower. I hear you on that. Legendary. I was waiting to see Legendary Villains super chat come in. He says, your boy told you lot for 2 years. This disaster was what I was trying to avoid. If Rashford scored, it would have papered over the cracks. I told Ollie he didn't need time. I knew he was rubbish. And I hear you on that, mate. And again, some people called it out early and were absolutely spot on, and I get it. Some other people wanted to see the squad built first. We all want the same thing in the end, though, and that's the club to win. Whether you were, because a lot of people like Neeks is coming on. He was Ollie for right now to build things and get them where they needed to be until he reached his limit. Some of you wanted him gone earlier. What we don't know, and I'm not trying to defend our beliefs, if we sacked him 18 months ago and another manager came in, maybe that wouldn't have worked out and he'd have gone and we'd have one of those mismatched squads again that wasn't ready to compete. What I do know is the squad's ready. Now is the perfect time to replace a manager that isn't good enough, my friend. But in terms of Ollie coaching levels, getting his team to win, just like you, just like me, we were both right about that. Isn't good enough to win the major trophies, legendary Villian. Thank you for the super chat. Row here says, Ollie is the best stat merchant manager I've ever seen. He is still in the top 4 end of the month. That's why stats don't matter. We also have a chat here, and then Neeks is coming on. It's from Yusuf. He says, it was bound to happen. He did what he was supposed to do. The players above his management level, they make the change. Now will we compete? We don't know. We would hope so. We all think so. Man like Neeks is on with me now to have his say. Bro, another disastrous result, an embarrassing result. What's your take on it, mate?
Yeah, we don't even have to really talk about the game. The game followed a pattern that many games have followed. The difference is we lost away from home for the first time in, 30 games. And we conceded 4 goals. There's other games where you're looking at it like, yeah, we could have conceded more. We could have drawn. We could have lost. We don't really need to go through the game. It's about the manager at this point. I put out a tweet some weeks ago, and I said that we got 4 games coming up: Villarreal, Everton, Leicester, and Atalanta. And we have to win all those 4. They're in obviously different competitions, or we have to get a new manager in. 3 games in, with 1-1 against Villarreal in the last minute, drawn with Everton in the last minute because they had a goal ruled out for offside, and then we've lost battered 4-2. It's time for a new manager. But I'm very comfortable for saying that at this point, and I'm very comfortable with the feeling I've had about Ollie over the last coming up to 3 years now since he came in as an interim. In terms of, at this stage, people would say, "Oh, I told you so. I told you he wasn't good enough. He should have gone 18 months ago. He should have gone. He was never the right man, etc., etc." And I'm comfortable that I backed him staying in the position for this long, because for me, based on what happened under Jose, what happened under LVG, what happened under Moyes, and obviously the managers after each one was there, we fell backwards after each manager came in before we went forward. And I didn't want that to happen again. So I was willing to forego a bit of experience in the coaching staff, maybe a bit of tactical naivety, and maybe even a lack of a trophy, as it's proven so far. For me, in the interest of the club. And right now we have a squad that was built by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course with the help of the board and etc., but built by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is the best squad we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson. The first time we've gone into a season where more than just Man United fans said, this squad is good enough to win. It should be challenging for the title. So for that, I'm comfortable that I backed Ollie to stay in to this point. But it's to this point, because at this point, as I said, the squad is ready to win. And the results and the performances right now are telling us, they're showing us that he ain't going to win anything with this squad. And if he ain't winning anything with this squad, then he's not going to win anything ever at Manchester United, because this is as good as the squad can get. So thank you. Thank you for building the squad. Thank you for bringing the culture back to Man United. And thank you for getting us excited about Man United, coming in at a point where we hated it. Jose made it toxic by the end of his time at Manchester United. And right now, it's not good, but it's definitely not toxic. It's definitely not toxic. So for me, you get a better manager in, and you don't have to tweak the squad that much, and you go out and win. And that, for me, vindicates keeping Solskjaer in for the 2 full seasons that he has been here, but it can't go on any longer.
Mate, great call. Really get what you're saying, mate. Speak to you again soon. Top man Neeks. Thank you very much indeed. Next on the show, we're going to get Aryan on all the way from Toronto, Canada, to have his say. What's on your mind, mate?
I think I'm going to take a more positive aspect of saying that I would like to thank Ollie for what he's done so far. He's definitely taken us from a very dark period as United fans and rebuild the squad. And I think the longer he stays, the more he's tarnishing that reputation that he built over that period. And I think he should just for the sake of keeping that positive energy of him rebuilding the squad and getting us to the place that we are today, we would be thankful for it. And he should just resign because he's out of his depth. I think he realizes that, and I think it's time to go. It's been time to go for 2 weeks. It's been time to go for the last 3 weeks, arguably. And I think the more we get into this run, we can't be going into that Liverpool game with Ole as manager because we're gonna get slapped up, and it's gonna be yet another manager in a row that Liverpool is putting the final nail in the coffin. And I don't want the rivals to have that against us, where Liverpool is a team that is sacking our managers now. So let's get a new manager in before we get to, I don't know, is the game at Anfield or Old Trafford, but before we face Liverpool, I think Ole has to go.
Mate, I couldn't agree with you more. I do. The problem is, though, with their way of thinking, and I've seen their way of thinking before, what they're likely to do is go, let's keep him. It could be, it's almost like, I get a feeling what they might do for a new manager is wait for this hard run to be out the way, so the new manager comes in for an easy run. So on paper, their start to life at Man United could be better, but that's a big risk because we could be out of the title race and out of the Champions League by then, and you never know how a new manager is going to start.
I think we're giving the Glazers too much credit there. I don't think they think that far into United. I don't think they care as much, and I think we're giving them too much credit, thinking that they care about the new manager that comes in having an easy run. They run on the pressure of the fans. The only reason we signed a commercial signing of Ronaldo was to shut the fans up because the pressure was getting too much. The whole infiltration of Old Trafford from the fans was embarrassing and is something they don't want to hold. So definitely they got a commercial signing Ronaldo, got the shirts, fans are back on their side. And now when the pressure builds up, they always act. They're very impulsive with their acts. So I don't see them thinking about, there's a tough run for the
I do get that. I do get that. That's a really good point, mate. Listen, great call. Thank you for coming on and having your say, mate. Really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Top man. Thank you very much indeed. Nicholas here says, Neeks is spot on. Couldn't have put it better myself. Ollie's been brilliant in the rebuilding the squad and the club in general, but he can't take this team further, in my opinion. P.S. Love the content. Thank you very much, Nicholas. I appreciate that. And I agree with a large part of what Neeks said as well, and it holds a hell of a lot of water indeed. There's no doubt about it. Paul here says, I'm going to say one thing. If United don't steal Conte, United is done if he goes to Newcastle. Next on the show, we're going to get man like Pav on to have his say. Big Man United fan here. Smash that like button, please. We haven't hit the 1,000 mark yet. Chelsea, I thought they're going about to go one up. Remember, we're live after Brentford, Chelsea as well. Pav's here with me. What are you saying, mate?
Here we are again, Terry, mate. I'm not even angry. I was literally laughing at the whole game because as soon as that game started, I was just looking at that. We ain't winning this. We didn't deserve it. We were awful the whole game. That watermelon head, Harry Maguire, he can piss off with Ollie as well. I've had enough of him as well. Worst captain of this club ever. And if anyone tells me he's different, you can F off as well. I'm literally like at the point where why didn't the club change this manager 2 weeks? The 2 weeks that we've had off. Why? What's the point in changing him now? What's the new manager going to come in and do in the next 2 days before we kick a ball again? They should have sacked him 2 weeks ago. Like the incompetence of these like board members, the owners. It's what's the point? Like I've literally just lost every bit of interest and love for this club. It's been like, 8 years? And it's like, do you really want to keep putting in like your time and effort into like watching this crap? Like I've just had enough. Like look at the squad we've got and look at how we're playing, man. That's just awful. That's like one of the most embarrassing defeats I've seen in a long time. And we deserved it. And well played, Leicester, man. Like I don't know, man. I'm just like I can't even be bothered anymore.
Pav. I barring the Maguire thing, and the reason I say that is because I would be very intrigued. Chelsea are a case in point here. I remember like the way a lot of Chelsea fans talk about Rudiger now is very different to how they talked about him a year, 18 months ago. I do feel like it's the structure of our team. We equalised and within 15 seconds conceded. And it's just the way we're structured. The instructions look wrong. When we attack, it stands out more now because the players are better. So when you had Dan James in Sancho's position, it was like, oh, it's because Dan James is rubbish. Sancho's now there, and it's like, it really hasn't got much better. And some people will say, well, we told you that all along. You should have listened to us. Then there's the counter argument that Neeks has put forward. I'm not really worried about that debate. The debate is now this club's got to step up and do something, because we're still in a, quote unquote, we're still in a title race if Ollie gets sacked tomorrow and we bring in the right manager, because it's still early stages. But if we leave it another 2 or 3 weeks, our season could be over. Pav, you're a top man, mate. Thanks for coming on and having your say. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to go to a little bit of member chat now. We're going to do that on all of our big Max reaction streams moving forward. You can become a member for as little as 99p to get your comments in and read out. Get your super chats in as well, please, ladies and gentlemen. Means a great deal to us to get that done. We'll turn slow mode off when we do that as well. David here says, bring Zidane in, line up who he wants, bring them in and push to the next level. For me, it's only really now Ollie that should be replaced. I hear you on that completely. Fixer's on the show next. We've got Mr. Bond to come as well and a few others. Fixer's with me now. What you saying, mate?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Try coming back in, refresh. You're not hearing us. I'm going to go to Mr. Bond instead. What are you saying, Mr. Bond?
Yeah, how's it going, Terry? Yeah, quick one. Yeah, you said he gets better players and it gets worse. There's actually a phenomenon in economics, the law of diminishing returns. I think the initial phase, everything was good. It was on the up and up, and then you reach a point where you add more inputs and it just keeps getting worse. And that's where we are. I don't think it's going to change. There's some things you look at in the game. We've talked about the structure. Let's talk about set pieces, right? And the goal that the guy fumbled into, the fourth goal, before that ball went in, did you see the biggest man on the pitch, Yannick Vestergaard, was being marked by Luke Shaw? It's just stupidity. In the game against Aston Villa, the guy who scored, the American guy that replaced Transebi, he was being marked by Cavani, and then he scored. It's little things like this, and you wonder, like, does Ollie actually think about this, about his decisions, or is he really freestyling it? And I said this last time I was on the show. Ollie's like Doc Collins of Chicago Bulls before, before they went on the, into Jackson. He's done his best. He's done as much as he can do. Just get rid. It's not hard, and preserve his legacy. Keep the fairy tale thing going on, because it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. So we must well save the season, because if we try to wait till May, everything is going to be gone by May. And by that time, Ronaldo will have tasted Europa League for the first time in his life. And by May, we end up sacking him anyway. So let's just do the right thing and get rid of him now and just save the season. I think it's very straightforward, because it's not going to get better.
Mate, couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Bond. Great call. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you much indeed. Thank you. Give it to Mikey. Says, sick of hearing what an amazing job Ollie has done building the squad. Any manager can build a squad. I hear your feedback on that as well. I do hear your feedback on that. Give it to Mickey. Thank you very much to KJ Clicks for signing up and becoming an official member, an academy member of the Football Terrace. Grabbing him by the throat is what Chris said. I don't know what you mean by there. Are you talking about Ollie? Did he say that about Ollie? Sorry, maybe that's what the comment was. It's metaphorical. Marble Hall says, Pogba, Goatnaldo, Fernandes, Slabed, De Gea, all top players should go to the Glazers and demand he is fired. Ollie is a playing legend, but spent as a manager. We've got a very special treat, actually, ladies and gentlemen, coming on to have his say now. The legend Andy Tate is here with us to have his say. How you doing, buddy?
That's it. Yeah, mate.
Mate, no, I'm devastated. I'm honestly devastated, because I feel Ollie's come to the end of the road. I wanted him to be successful, but it just feels like we need someone better now at the helm. What's your take, mate?
I think you're right now. He's taken us as far as he can, and if you want to keep your legacy, he's going to have to resign. it's breaking my heart, and there's no continuity there. We've gone as far as we have gone with this setup now. I need coaching staff of McKenna and Carrick as well. Mike Phelan may survive, but performance today was really poor. The defence, the midfield, anybody could go through that. Anybody could cut through it. I mean, the only take I will say is the goals were spectacular, but there's no style of play to what we do. We can't string passes together. There's no working rate. With Liverpool, City and Chelsea, they desire energy, pressing. They know they want to win and be a part of a challenge. But this club, we have gone so far with this setup now. And it started from the Europa League final last year because he never made a substitute. It took him too long. There was no set-up tactics. And the players now, they're just playing through the motions. It's supposed to be a happy camp. Everyone's happy, we go again. It's not on Saturday. And it's like a holiday camp. There's no discipline there. There's no, why don't we start having a go at each other? You know, it's really frustrating to see. And like I say, a friend of mine said this at the Everton game. This could be the long kiss goodbye. This is going to be agony because we could be out of everything by December.
Mate, we could theoretically in 3 weeks' time be out of the Champions League. Atalanta play good attacking football. With the way we get cut up, with the way we get cut apart, we lose. If we lose one and draw one, that's not even an unrealistic prediction. I think we'll go out in the Champions League. We've got Tottenham, we've got Liverpool next, I believe, and then it's Tottenham and then Manchester City. We could lose all of them games. Spurs, you look at now and go, well, they're not playing great. Leicester have been awful up until now. If you actually go back and look at Leicester's last few games, they've been awful and they collapsed against Palace. It was like, right, we could do so. They looked like world beaters today. And no, I'm a bit like you, mate. I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I've never been as sort of venomous in my speech towards him as other managers because I have an affinity because of what he did for us as a player. But I look at it now, and I want to pull on something you said, which is perfect. I think there was a great harmonious feel to this squad. He's built this really good squad. I helped to build it. It felt great. But I don't want them to keep him too long and it become toxic and poisonous. You know, you look at Lukaku as a great example. He wanted to leave Man United because he'd lost the love to want to stay there because of how long the problem between him and Jose lasted. If they'd have got rid of Jose in the summer when they should have done and brought in somebody new, we could have repaired that relationship sooner. And I'm worried that if we keep Ollie until December, January, February, or maybe the end of the season, certain players might just think, do you know what? I want out of here. I just want to leave. And like we could save our season. And look, I still mean it. If Zidane came in tomorrow, I still think we can win the league. We could win a Champions League. We have a good enough squad.
The board won't touch him. The board won't touch him. Ollie is the safety cushion between anarchy and the fans. Because if this is going pear-shaped now, the Glazers, they've given him new contracts for all the team and Ollie. Reward. This isn't reward. This is rewarding failure. We've been failing since Europa League final. And this is killing me to say this. You have to make a change now if you want to salvage this season. Yeah. And the Glazers want a yes man. Could you imagine? Zidane is too powerful. Whoever they brought in, the board would want to control them. If it was Conte, if it was Zidane, anybody.
Yeah. Mate, and that's why Pochettino. For me, mate, I hear you. And that for me is why in all these Ollie in, Ollie out conversations, I've still sort of said, like, I get this sobering thought of, but we cannot forget who runs our club. There's part of me that feels like there's two ways it's going to go. You bring in a manager like that, and it could expose them for what they are, and more people buy in and understand that the problem with the Glazers. Or, as you say, they might end up just staying with him because they want. But everyone turns on Ollie, and I've turned against Ollie in terms of I know he isn't a good enough manager to get us to where I want us to be. But at the same time, the big problem is them, as you say, wanting whether it's a yes man, someone that isn't going to rock the apple cart, someone just to keep their money ticking in. And it's a shame. It's such a shame, really, because we've got a squad that can compete. But if we stay with this coach, with his coaching staff around him, it ain't happening, mate. It's not happening at all.
We demand a challenge. We demand not to win the title, but to be challenging for trophies. And I'm sick of the excuses now. We've got injuries, we've got suspensions. Deal with it. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, they deal with it. Stop making your excuses. You want to make this club great again. Look inside yourself and what you're contributing. You're failing, and you just need to move aside.
Yep, mate. I could not agree with you more, Andy. Absolute pleasure to have you on the terrace, mate.
Take care, Tate.
Yeah, mate. You speak again soon. Top man, Andy. Thank you very much, mate. Legend of a man. Literally, probably the first viral content creator ever, and a lovely bloke as well. Bit of rival chat now. I know his team's playing, but David's here to have his say. David's with us. What's on your mind, mate? You're on mute, my bro.
I think you might be overreacting just a little bit. I understand that, like, you know, you've lost. Leicester are a good team. I know they started poorly, but they are a good team, and it's not an easy ground to go to. And I know you had this away record, but the away record's kind of weird because half of it you didn't actually play in front of fans, and that clearly had an effect. But you've lost it, so you were going to have to lose at home away at some point. And you're only, I think it's right now, I think you're only 4 points off the top of the league anyway. I don't see Ollie going. I don't see you getting knocked out of your Champions League group, no matter how bad you are, because I just think you are just a level above all of those teams. And being 4 points off the top of the table isn't a sackable offence, in my opinion. For Man United, maybe for Chelsea that'd be different because of our owners and they're very proactive. But for you guys, I don't see it as being the absolute end of the world. So I understand your point of, you know, you're worried that Ollie's reached his ceiling and so on and so forth. But I just don't think that the Glazers are proactive enough to actually investigate into that. That's why I don't think he's going to be sacked.
Yeah. No, do you know what it is? I understand your logic, but for me, when it comes to what I want my club to do, I talk about what they should do. I look at this. I remember having a debate with a man like Aryan. Big up yourself if you are watching, my bro. Where he said, like, I remember he tweeted about when Dortmund, Munich sacked a manager like very early on in the season. He's like, that's how big clubs operate. And I always felt that it was right, but looked at kind of one-dimensionally by a lot of people in the comments after he said it around, yeah, that's why Ollie should be sacked. It's like, yeah, but you're focusing on Ollie and not the people that are running the club. But at the time, our squad weren't good enough, in my opinion, for just anyone just to walk in and go and get that success that the likes of Munich do domestically. It needed to be built. And, you know, one of the things Neeks said all the time, which I still think he was right about, it was, I'm not Ollie in or Ollie out, I'm Ollie for right now. And right now is the time to move him on and bring somebody better in. That's what I want my club to do, because I look at the fact we lost 4 in our last 7. We've won 2 in our last 7 games. And I honestly look at Atlanta, Liverpool, Tottenham, Atlanta, City. I'm telling this now, if Ollie's in charge, we're winning one of those games maximum. And by the end of that could almost pretty much be us out. That could be us out of the Champions League. That could be us 7, 8, 9, 10 points off the top of the league. And by then and if Chelsea, City and Liverpool all pull away and we're that far behind all of them, one might collapse, not all 3. We're done. Our season's over, because like I said at the start of the campaign, my standards have gone beyond top 4 now. Top 4 has been achieved 2 years running. We've got a squad. It's challenge for that title or go home. Like, there is no in between for me as far as I'm concerned. And I hear your point. We're only a few points off the top. It's recoverable. But I don't think Ollie's going to recover it, you know?
Everything would suggest that he probably might. Again, we all know that for some reason, whenever it's the most difficult fixtures, this guy just shows up. And today, you could argue that's probably one of them where he normally would show up. But I feel like he's got really unlucky, because I know Greenwood scored a banger, but Tielemans scored like an outrageous goal. And then the set piece was a bit, and it's like your players are making mistakes. And it's
true, like, but David De Gea saved us 2 or 3 times in that game as well. Like when we saved the shot onto the post and then made the save before the corner, it was like we're hanging on here. Like the goalie's doing it. Yeah. What I will say, one positive I will say is this: people have got to start putting more respect on Rashi's name. You know, that's all I'm going to say. Like comes back straight away and just gets himself on the goal sheet. My guy, best left attacking player in the world, barring Son. But there we go, David. I'll let you get back to your game and speak to you after the Brentford Chelsea game anyway, mate. Top man, David. Thank you. Fixer's coming on now. Hopefully sound's working. Fixer, what do you want to say, bro?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
All right. Terry, I'm gonna take off my camera real quick. Yeah, is that cool?
Yeah, mate.
All right, cool. So Terry, man, dude, time has finally come. It's time for Ole to leave this football club. The moment has arrived. Like, there's no more room to maneuver. You know, before everybody's like, oh yeah, he comes second, he comes third, he done this and done that. If you look at any other big club, like what David was saying, David literally hit the nail on the head. He said, if it was at Chelsea and you sack a manager, 4 points off the top, nobody will bat an eyelid because that's the standard. But at United, he said that's not a sackable offense because our standard have dropped so much now that that's not even something our board is considering. When if the fact of the matter is Ole has literally rode his luck to the point of no returning. That's all he's rode his luck for 3 years now, and with luck you can only go so far. And now everything is beginning to show. We have Ronaldo, literally the best player on earth, and we can make it work. And that is just
and I'm exactly. And it's about, I don't know what. Do you know what I kind of feel what he's like in terms of his relationship with Man United fans right now? He's got all of these tools and he doesn't know how to use them. He's absolutely out of his depth. There's no excuses.
Oh yeah, no idea.
But it reminds me of a bad relationship where the man and woman should break up, but they have a baby to try and fix it. But actually, the baby comes with a very, very short period of time where there's like a lot of joy and happiness, and it kind of. Brentford just hit the post, by the way, but Chelsea are counter-attacking. It comes with a moment where there's really loads of joy and happiness, and there'll be this very small period of time where everything will feel great and everyone feels in love. And then Lukaku's gone down the other end and scored, but I think he's been given as offside. I don't know. I think it's offside. It's offside. Oh wow, that would have been a madness. I'm going to start that analogy again. So they've had the baby to fix their relationship, right? They've had the baby to fix their relationship. But because of the pressure that a child brings, you don't get as much sleep, drain on the finances, it's hard nurturing and developing and bringing up a child. More pressures arise within that already damaged relationship. And I feel like with Ole, they've got all these players and there was this big feel-good factor for him, for the club, and it was great the first few weeks. And then it's like, now the pressure is you have to win. You have to win. You have to deliver every week. Otherwise, it's an embarrassment. And he just doesn't have the capabilities to make Man United do that. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, man's got to go. Fixer, thank you for calling in and having your say. I really appreciate it. We're getting down to the final few callers here. I'm going to go to Satan's favorite devil. Are you there? Satan's favorite devil, isn't it? I'm going to go to Curran. Curran's an Arsenal fan. What are you saying, mate?
Well, that wasn't a dead game, was it? That was not. No. It wasn't. I will say that. I'll, you know what? I'll happily accept the L on that one because the things that I was concerned about with your team is clearly come to fruition here. I just thought if you're going to play Pogba and Matic together, you're going to realize that you're going to be struggling in transition, and that's what Leicester did to you constantly. And you couldn't sustain pressure in the opposition half for most of that game, and that's the main reason why I've said constantly it's very, very difficult because you're not the same team from 2 years ago where you're deadly on transition. You get the ball and you just whack it up, but now it's just sort of. I don't know. It's sort of like there's a mismatch of like almost two teams happening. There's a team that wants to sustain pressure, and there's a team that kind of wants to transition. It doesn't really make sense.
Well, it's because we have more players now with higher quality like ball playing ability, but we're not playing to their strengths, and they're not enjoying it. The midfield situation. I knew it was going to fail today. I don't really tweet about starting lineups. I've said this for months, and it's why the McFred debate is just it's a bit of a Fugazi debate. They're not great. But every time Pogba and Matic play together, they don't have the legs; they get run through. So I've said it before. We need two players that are the combination of Fred and McTominay's best bits, and Matic. We need someone that's got the mobility of McTominay and Fred, and the passing of Matic and Pogba. You know, a Declan Rice-esque player like that's pretty much behind. But that's what we need, and that would help us. But the coaching needs to be better. The structure needs to be better because it isn't. Leicester have got lots of good players, but we've been
Yes.
outplayed. We've been outplayed this season by Wolves. We've been outplayed this season at times by young boys. That's a coaching issue. I'm happy with our squad overall. We just need to get better in relation to that. Current, listen, last call was from yourself because I've got to shoot because I've got to watch this Chelsea game. I've got to cover it. Top man. I'm sorry to everyone else who's backstage that wants to come on. We are live again after Brentford Chelsea, so we can touch on more of this then because I'm sure it's still going to be a trending topic. I'm going to say this before I leave. My final thought is very much this. I love and respect Ollie. I do love and respect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I do. As a Man United icon. But he's at the end. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has taken his club as far as he can go. His coaching staff have taken us as far as he can go. They are drowning with the tools and the plethora of talent that they have. We're actually getting worse. It's 4 defeats in 7 games. And in the next 3 to 4 weeks, legitimately, Man United's season could be over. If Man United are behind the league leaders by any more than 6 to 7 points, I don't believe they'll catch them. We could be out of the Champions League with how we're playing and performing at this moment in time. Ollie should lose his job. Most people are in agreement with that in one way, shape or form. But the big question is, will the board, the owners, step up? Or are they happy just to have somebody in there to keep us at this level where we maybe still make top 4? Or are they going to wait for top 4 to be over before they replace him? If they are, it demonstrates they have no interest in winning the league, winning the Champions League. And that should be the main focus for us, no doubt. Ollie won't walk away. He can't sack himself. The pressure needs to be placed now on these owners, on our board to do the right thing. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is drowning. We're in October. And within 3 to 4 weeks, our season could be absolutely over. And with the quality of player that we've got, Man United should be up there competing with City, Liverpool, and Chelsea this season and doing well on a European front. There's no God-given right to win titles. But when you spend what we spend, when you pay players what we do in wages and image rights and salaries, the expectation should be to challenge every single game, to be competitive in the majority of matches, and to be there or thereabouts. We haven't got the spending budget of a mid to low table team, a championship team, a big club from a small league. We are talking about Manchester United with a squad worth over £700 million, being paid hundreds of millions of pounds a year. We must do better. The board must do better. The expectations must be higher. It's time to sack Ollie now. It's time to save the season at this point. I want your thoughts and feelings. Smash the like and share button before you leave. Share this stream across your social media platforms. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Thank you all for watching as well. It really means a great deal to me. It does. And we'll speak to you